Oh, oh God. Yeah. So happy 4th of July weekend coming up. Just me, Vic. Uh, I'm old. I'm going to be 76 in August, so I'm not real savvy with the internet stuff, but uh, just exercising my First Amendment right or something. I'm looking at YouTube, all the yes, it's on there. It's all billions and billions and a lot of goody two shoes. I paid my dues to. I'm still alive and all that. Not stupid, but just kind of dropped out of society. Back in the Vietnam era, as it says, tune the acid, Osley, tune in, drop out, whatever, drop out of. So I guess both my parents were 100. I just kind of reverted back to went home. I got my dad's old house. Inheritance needs everything. I'm just fixing a little bit here, a little bit there. Toilet was leaking on the bottom. I tightened the bolts. They were loose. First, I'm worried if they're not rusted on. This has been back 20 years ago, so I guess I don't know. I tightened it up a little bit. So let me try to tighten it because taking it off is a pain in the butt for me. I'm watching the videos. These guys are doing. Young guys full of energy. The new house, and I guess the wife told them they're showing off with a wife or something. They're fixing everything deluxe and got the tools. And the guy's been a plumber for 40 years. He's fixing everything. I'm just trying to learn. I never did all this stuff. I was out driving a truck, same thing. I got to learn. Just keep going and keep learning and learn how to work on the truck to keep it running. An old truck, and got my '68 Cadillac in the back, and I was kind of everywhere. All the truck stops. I'm retired now about 9 months. So all the truck stops is, hey, Trump, man, Trump. Because this is pretty pathetic. Now I see on Instagram where a lot of the raggers are showing a guy washing his feet in the sink. Like the way I grew up back in the 50s, man. Fuck that shit. You're a fucking animal. You don't get that we wash everybody else washes their face in there. I mean, get a bottle of water. Showed him going out to the truck and washing his feet. Sit on the steps of the tractor or something and wash your feet there if you want to. I mean, you're out in the parking lot, but why don't you take a shower? You're a company driver, and every time you fuel up, they give you a free shower. Them ragheads are running. They run the hell out of it. I feel bad for them guys, but that's slavery, modern day slavery. But still, I mean, you can take a shower. They all run in there with their little backpacks and their flip flops and every day to it's $18 a shower. I was the owner operator, so I got to the point where I wasn't taking a shower for 2 or 3 weeks. Which after a while I said it's just not worth it no more for me. It's a money thing, and you're scratching your head like, oh, I'm going back to '81. I was on probation. I went back from New York to L.A. Got courtesy supervision, and I was working at a gas station. This old Texas boy give me a just $3 an hour back then. I was panhandling $10 an hour, just sticking out my hand, half drunk in New York, driving a cab, making 25, $30 an hour. Excuse me, I messed up. Anyhow, so this guy was out the Marine Corps, red-headed Irish guy, and he was the assistant manager. And we were talking, BSing. And he said, "Man, I was trying to get my own business, get a loan, to get my own business. Something they wouldn't give it to him. He didn't qualify or something. Guy's in the Marine Corps. You know, white, married, looked like a real good guy. Uh, and he went off a little bit. He says, yeah, but you know, they'll, I guess the government, I've never seen it in writing that the government, I guess, gives them when they come over, or they have a sponsor or something, and they come over to work, but not well to work, but also uh, start their own business. And that's I was in Bakersfield at that 24/7 truck stop. I'm reading the Indian. It's Indian owned. Uh, Punjabi from Punjabi, India or some shit. I was stuck. I'm broke. I'm sitting there waiting on a load. Got to wait till Monday or Tuesday or whatever. There was no loads out of there or whatever. I'm sitting there, make the best of it. And they got a stack of the local paper or something, the truck stop paper or something. And it says, got borrow, we will lend you about 15, 20 people, a company. We will lend you $100,000 to start a gas station, a motel, or get a truck. See, I put to get it. I got an old truck. I put I think I put $1,000 down. I got a $10,000 an old 1,000,000-mile truck, and I did get a loan from the being Hispanic here in El Paso. They lent me 10 grand. I paid them back half with government loan. I shouldn't say, get myself in trouble here. But anyhow, trying to figure out the. So it was written in Punjabi, a little bit of English here and there. So I don't know how if I could go as an American citizen to ask for. I got my foot in the door. I'm pulling for J.B. Hunt, the largest. Could I ask them to, if you're a minority or at the poverty level, or what does it take? I don't know. See, here again, now that's where a lawyer comes in, or somebody that I see the way they do. It's kind of like my family. They all got money. They don't want to talk to me. I'm some kind of whatever, So anyhow, I see, like, I watch Adam Carolla. I like the guy. I was out west, San Diego, since I was a little kid, in L.A. whatnot. I kind of he sort of relaxes me. Everybody else is wound for sound, man. The competitor. I watch Fox News there first thing in the morning. Man, they're going 500 miles an hour because I think Brian Kilmeade. I like him a little bit, but I'm thinking. I used to have an apartment in the East Village. It was $60 a month. I mean, you take your life in your hands. It's pretty rough. Alphabet City, they call it, a couple blocks from Hell's Angels and all that shit. But I was drinking and getting high a little bit, chasing the girls. It was, you go to work. I worked down Wall Street. I was a runner, and then I was driving a cab. And you make your little money, you're drinking, you're bullshitting, get a little action on us girls. Fucking New York is a F fest. It was a fuck fest. I mean, it was. And you get home and you crash. And you take a shower, clean up, maybe get something to eat, and go back to work. I was making enough. I ate out 2 or 3 times. Whenever you're hungry. Or you go by a good deli or something. But I'm looking at them, and now I'm thinking like this. They probably got apartments. I'm going to guess from what I hear, probably 3, 4, 5,000 a month, plus taxis to work and back, and then some of them are married and got kids. I don't know how you make it like that, but so they're making millions anyhow. But it's like they don't want to, it's a hurry. I see where my nephew's a lawyer, but he's man, he's like that. Not he got ain't got 1 second to spare, and he's going bald a little bit. And I Googled it. It said from stress. Well, like my hair's starting to recede, but what's it worth? My brother-in-law, before he died of that COVID, says read the Bible every day. He was from York, Pennsylvania, Air Force. I never liked the guy, but I respected him. He took care of my sister and my nephew, and then he taught me how to box, and then read the Bible. I've been reading the Bible. I started as a kid, but I got away from it. I read it every day now for 5 or 10 minutes. Make my coffee, and first thing in the morning, just to me, it straightens me out. I'm reading Psalms this last week or so. Read like 3 chapters a day. I got 46 years by the grace of God, clean and sober. But the Bible, it tells you my enemies and the corruption. So much of it is in the Middle East. It's so similar as today. I'm just going to ask my God to destroy. I can't stand the Muslims. I think everybody's waking up to that Islamic Brotherhood or whatever, the Caliphate uh, religion of peace. Kill the infidel. It tells you in the Quran. They want to come over here, and I seen on Instagram a post that says, "Would you mind living under Sharia law?" Wait. Who are you? Why are you asking me? Who are you asking me where I would like to live? I got my thing right here. I'm living in the United States, supposedly in a democracy, and I'm 76 in August, and it's like who are you asking me anything really? How I want to live? It's already I'm playing by the rules that have been established for years and deal with it. It's not that bad, you know. But they're coming on like they're taking over and they want to know, or I do the best I can with what I got. I'm not no saint. I don't walk on water. And you're going to come over here with this. If I sneeze wrong or I'm no good because I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, or I smoke cigarettes, and now you're going to stone me to death, or you're going to cut my head off, or because I'm a Christian. Man, fuck all that. Are you kidding me? So I say deport these guys. I say vet them. You want to have your own religious community over here. They're trying to start. You got temples built in Dallas, all over the United States, about 300 of them mosques. That's not a problem. You mind your own business. You stay over there. I'll stay over here. Okay, how you doing? Yeah, how are you? Yeah. But when you start coming over there imposing your laws or your ideologies or how you think or what you want, now you got a problem. So I think it's been I'm going back 45, 50 years. I remember seeing a little bit of bullshit here, a little bit over here, and now like driving a truck. I took I think a 23-year break or something. I was doing deliveries in LA, and I had started in 81, and I come back, and wasn't too bad around 90, but 2009 I went back. I got my own truck. Stopping at the truck stops, it just wasn't the same. And I noticed the last 16 years when I started back, back up again, that I went cross country, not a lot, like 6 months, but I mean, I'm 29, 30, 35 years old. I got my eyes wide open, sober now. And I was riding with a couple of Vietnam vets. And we didn't stop too much, but when you did stop, you're looking around and maybe talk to somebody, smoke a cigarette, BS for a minute. You're looking around. I don't remember seeing all these ragheaded flip flops. And then they started talking to the old timers. Yeah, look at these flip flop guys with the raghead. We nudge each other on the shoulder. Look at this guy coming out, and very arrogant. And then a ton of. I'm Hispanic. I guess I'm half German and half Spanish and part Indian, whatever. But anyhow, I'm from El Paso. I grew up with mostly Hispanics, LA, and how you doing? I said, "Cómo está?" How are you in Spanish? Or you ask a question. Hey, blah blah blah. No speak English. I got a couple of delivery drivers the last couple of weeks from Walmart. Is it busy today? Oh, no speak English. It's like they're proud to. I mean, if I seen like I seen an old guy. I was walking to get cigarettes yesterday, and he's walking by a white guy, and mostly Mexicans over here. But so how you doing? Just acknowledge the person. Give a little respect. He's probably about 55 or 60. Smoking a cigarette, but he looks like someone I could talk to. And just agreeing. Well, we're walking on the. I'm going this way. He's going that way. How you doing? Just it's a truck stop. It's supposed to be a brotherhood. They just brush you off like I never seen. And I was in New York. I used to panhandle. I was obnoxious as hell, and uh, we how you doing? If I mean, bombed. I used to drink. A lot of drinking in New York. I'm not gonna, but some guys, get a job or fuck off or fuck you or something. Fuck you too. I was always ready to fight. I only got beat 3 times in 12 years, but uh, I yeah, give a guy a guy's down and out. You got to, dead broke. Give a guy a quarter, or 30 cents. Or I ain't got nothing. You want a cigarette? At this point, it don't matter. If I get paid and we talk a little bit, and I had a real good buddy, a couple of guys from Pennsylvania, another guy from Jersey. We end up at the same truck stop a couple of times or something, or come by to see you or whatever. We're sitting there smoking bullshit, and we got to wait till 10-hour break or whatever. We're sitting there BSing for, let's get something to eat. I said, well, I ain't got no money, man. Come on, man. Let's get something to eat. Now, if I'm getting paid, I got paid from JB Hunt. Hey, man, let's get something to eat. Come on. You want a steak and egg going to be $25, with a coffee or something. Fuck it, You're just having a kind of stuck in the truck and all that. And it's just nice. I don't mind. If I got it, I'll spend it. If I don't have it, I can't spend it. Well, but I don't mind help. He's another working guy. I took a couple of guys to eat. They were dead broke, and I had a little money, and you know, maybe they would ask me, or I'd ask, hey, you want to get something to eat? You know, the Waffle House, or for $10 you can fill up pretty good. You know, and you want a hamburger and a coffee or something, or I'll at least buy you a coffee. You know, or sneak one. You know, you go ahead and fill up and put your cream and sugar or whatever, and then just kind of walk on without it. They don't say nothing. I don't like to do that, but sometimes you just need at least a coffee. You know, like, and they're busy. They make. I was talking about a TA and the Petro. They make millions a year, and they said a month. They were telling one guy telling me a month they make millions a month. So I mean, I don't like to. It's technically stealing. I don't like to do that, but sometimes it's like, hey man, sorry, but I ain't got it. I need some coffee, man. You know, it's kind of a thing. You put a couple of dollars on the stock market, trying to figure that out. I like Kramer. He's my age. I worked down the stock market when I was 20, actually, 1970. But I don't know. It doesn't really turn me on a lot. And then I lost 3 grand a couple of years ago. That man, I said, just something. Put in $50. Just they're talking. I watch the news on the videos on the YouTube. A bunch of younger people, foreigners. This I started with 10,000. I lost everything. I quit for 6 months, or 2 or 3 years, and they come back in there and they looking at the stock market 24 hours a day or something, and come back now they're earning 6 figures and all that. Takes money to make money, The stuff I watch on YouTube, I got to step back sometimes. At Fox News, the same thing. Whatever they got on it, these are money people, and I'm not. I guess I could have been, but sometimes you need a woman behind you or whatever. Right? For some reason, I didn't get into that huge money thing. I've been around people with. I went to Europe 3 times when I was a starving student when I was 20, 21, 22. But student uh, discount flight, and took the rail pass for unlimited train for 3 weeks. That was pretty cool. It was $120 back in 70, 71. And you meet people. Uh, a lot of the people, I'm drinking that good cheap wine from France for 45 cents for a liter. Uh, hash was $1 over there. And it just, I used to hitchhike in the United States for a couple of years. And what do your parents? Everybody got a brand new car and shit. What do your parents do? The parents making big money. My dad worked. He was a purchasing agent here in El Paso, buying and selling paper products, janitorial supplies. I think he used to make 175 a week, like that, back in the 50s and 60s. But he's a miser, man. He used to. Him and mom went through the depression, so anyhow, he saved all his money. The power of money he was trying to teach me. I still didn't quite learn it because he was from Mexico. I got Americanized, and it's a different system. They teach you or they indoctrinate you so that you're a working stiff. And I guess they did, because looking back through my life, I ain't got nothing, man, really. And work all my life though. So I'm getting my money from Social Security, so however that works. I mean, I'm okay right now. I don't care anymore. I'm so old. I read the Bible, and it's like my time is up. So like I look at my two nephews, three nephews, four nephews. They all, and my niece. She just got back. They all got money. They don't want to talk to you, nothing. So I remember when they would come to the house, with my dad's house, because he had money, and they couldn't get enough of that or a free meal out of it or something. But I don't know. It's like I messed up, but I sobered up, rehab, and all that. And I work on my cars and my truck, and I play with the computer a little bit. It's not. I don't try to get all creative and all that. Just to have fun, kill some time. I'm working on a house. I got a little on the other side of the house. It's a duplex. I got a little work table over there, and I'm cutting some boards. I got they broke in my house 7 times. So that's getting back to Trump and why I don't like illegals. I seen a thing. Somebody's doing a PhD at the University of Texas over here. They say, how does the cartel? It's 20 years ago when I first came back. They're in Juarez, Mexico. They were fighting it out for turf, and they were killing. About 15 years ago, they killed what 1,500 people a year, something like that. And I asked truckers, I said, you never heard about that, did you? They never heard about that. Oh, I didn't know. You didn't know. Well, there's a problem over here. El Paso, everybody used to go drinking and all. They wouldn't let the army go over there. No, everybody and the brother went over there. They got discotheques and high school girls, college girls, whatever. You go over there. You used to be cheap prostitution over there, and you know. Then now it got real dangerous. Where you could get killed for looking at the wrong guy or something, or start an argument, whatever. You get killed. So Cadillac Jack he used to take the truckers on Saturday night, take a carload or something to the cantinas, to the bars over there, and you want a little female company or something, whatever. You go over there Saturday night. You go over there around 8 or 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you bring you back, get beer or hard liquor, whatever you want. You come back, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning or something. But they kill him. They say the cartel killed him. I say he was still operating. I say he must be in with the cartel. It was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And they said, oh, they killed him. Yeah, they just had a little side hustle, taking the truckers to Juarez, a little 5-minute drive to get there, and then 5 or 10 minutes to go to a bar or something. They got, guy stuff or whatever. So, I got some guys. There was three sets of people that broke in. As I'm out driving the truck 2 or 3 months at a time. I have my son with me. He died. But there was, I think, 2 or 3 guys that left a manila envelope with their prison records. Looked like they're from Kentucky or Tennessee or somewhere around there. What? I was going to the AA meeting after my son died, and there was a lot of out-of-towners, and a lot of them were getting locked up for being involved with drug dealing or whatever. They weren't. There's a newer generation. They're not really AA alcoholics. They're drugs or pills, doctor prescribed or whatever. So it's a different mindset. Anyhow, I'm telling everything. I'm bearing my soul, telling it like following the program, not hiding nothing. And I said, well, I got this and I got that because I've been working. And then my parents gave me some money to help me with my son and trying to hang on. I got a couple of old cars, is what it is. They ain't got nothing. And I guess they think I'm rich or something. My dad helped me out with his house and he was 100. And which is unusual, but they mistake kindness for weakness. Anyhow, the house needs to be. I still got to fix the window gates and stuff. I got half the house. It's old wood on the doors. They break in from the back. There's nobody here. Nobody's calling the cops, and you can't see nothing. If you get in the backyard, you can't see nothing. So the neighbors there too. They don't see nothing. They don't want to see nothing. And the cops ain't doing nothing. I reported a couple of times, but I noticed these guys were from prison. It's like a local gang or organization. That's what I figured then. The lady calls me in Richmond, Virginia, about 3 years ago. My neighbor, she got a video camera. She showed four of them hoodies, Hispanic, I guess 25 to 40. I asked the cops. This is about the fifth time they broke in. And I said, how old are these people? There was four of them. They said between 25 and 40. So you see there too, all these immigrants that were coming over from Venezuela, Guatemala, that's military age. They could have been migrants. We had three houses we fixed. My dad's rentals fixed them up real nice, and they broke in over there too. That was about 15 years ago, and I figured as high school kids, they got all the beers on the mantle, the beer bottles, or Budweiser, or the cans, or something stacked up in a 5-gallon bucket that shit in there. I figured it out of high school or something, and they busted the lock in the back, or they got in through the back door, and after the bars closed, maybe they sell some drugs or something. They come over, three, four, five of them. Got a girl over there. They're having big fun. They stay there for a week or two, whatever. And then I'm looking at my buddy was from L.A. He was saying the same thing too. He used to be sober, clean and sober, and now he's like hanging out. I'm watching his behavior. The guy's like, he's 55. He just wants to use the ideology, the philosophy is use other people's stuff, which is on the fringes of criminal behavior. I lived in New York in the 70s for 12 years, and I lived in LA for about 12 years altogether. I know about criminal behavior is the way they think. I just got me in a lot of trouble. And well, when somebody, don't bullshit a bullshitter. Anyhow, I was putting two and two together, and I said, well, that's what like my ex told me too. You got to watch out because you're old. They figure they can take advantage of you and stuff, which that burns me up. But that's life. That's what I pray to God. It says you see all my enemies trying to attack me and rob me, and I said, yeah, that's about it. You got to call to the Lord up there. I can still fight a little bit, but I asked the cops. I said, I got a felony, but can you? If you kill somebody, maybe they're going to put you in prison. I thought in the state of Texas you can defend your household, your homestead. I said, I got a felony, but can I get a shotgun or something? Oh, no, they told me no. So I said, I'm going to just have to ask God Almighty to protect me because, and He does, I'm going to weld, I'm going to put window gates and door. I'm going to make my own. I'm trying to save like $5,000 or whatever. So I got a little welder from China for $68 and labor a little bit, MIG welder. I said, I'm going to do this. To me, I challenge myself to learn and get my hands dirty a little bit and spend a couple of bucks to try to help myself. I don't see what people. I got a lady friend and starting 132, trying to mentor her in Ohio, and it's like my ex. She's still doing pot and beer, and she left her mom's home in Vegas. Her mom threw her out, and she said, "If I stay here, Been over there for the last 10 years, 15 years. I'm going to hurt my mother. She stabbed her wife. What is this, man? She's also about 55, 57, something like that. At that age, you're not a hooker no more. I guess you could still hustle something, but it's getting pathetic. I won't let her back in the house because, like with her mother, she going to a psychiatrist now, but there's something in her brain that she blanks out, and she'll go pick up a knife and use it. She came at me. I had a loaded 38 one time. We was in L.A. that came at me with a knife. Like, never bring a knife to a gunfight. But are you stupid or what? There's something. I've been watching her for years. She left 16 years ago when I started driving a truck, abandoned our son and all. And this time I stood up to her a little bit too. She says, "I need a place to stay. Can I come over?" I said no. She's. I said, man. I said, it was Father's Day a couple of weeks ago. I said, you know how you abandoned me and our son for 16 friggin' years. I took care of him by myself for 17 years. Oh well, okay. Well, have a nice day. Hangs up. I said, yeah. I got a soft spot in my heart, but you know what? Like on Instagram, it tells you, about your exes and all that, little videos. And there's something, I got a blank spot in here when she starts talking. It's like, and it ain't about the sex no more. We're both old, you know, and that compassion. The same way with these immigrants. They say, all right, aren't you compassionate with a mother and her kids? And yeah, but they're playing a game on us. They're trying to soak the system in America. And when you're down and out, or I get robbed, not once, seven friggin' times when I'm out there. But and then I'm talking to a guy yesterday. I went to get a cigarette. He's got them clown pants on, and kids about not a kid anymore. He's 18. You're going to nom back in my day, or 17, or 16. They sneak in. They let them go into service. I mean, they're shooting real bullets, man. And this clown, he's over there with a pulls up, and I was just walking up to the store and on my phone for a second, and he's smoking a cigarette also at the same time, and he's like about 3 feet, turns his back, and he's on his phone. I went in to get cigarettes. I come back out. The guy got the way out pants white with cartoon figures or some shit on it. I mean, this guy's a good 20, 25 years old. So I come back out, and I says, hey, where'd you get the pants? I mean, the guy's sticking out like a sore thumb. And I didn't say it in a malicious way. I felt good. I thought I'd talk to the guy for a minute. I'm a lonely old man or something. I got two buddies over there, the mechanics. I just talked to one, and I was going to talk to the other one for a few minutes. Just how you doing? How's the wife and kids, and what are you up to? Know them for 20 years now. I was over there. It's my neighborhood, so where'd you get the pants at? Most speak English automatic. No, I couldn't even hear him. So I said, "Oh, okay, man." Here, and he kind of looks at me like we bump fists at the truck stop. Like this guy, he's looking at, he's making a judgment on me. There's an old man just. I got a pretty clean pair of pants on and his t-shirt. I'm sorry, I was out there working on the yard and I'm cutting some wood over here and this, that, and the other. I'm not Pee Wee Herman, or this ain't a CBS interview. So he's, you know, the young ones with the phone, they're so arrogant. It take you nothing to. You got a nice car, clean as a whistle, but you're looking down, and that's what I can't stand. Is thank you, or You don't speak English. What the fuck are you doing here in the first place? Or Saudi. I hate that shit, man. I had to go to elementary school. How do these guys, these clowns, get over here? Oh, I'm a citizen, 18 years or 20 years, and you don't speak two sentences of English. I don't get it, man. I had to go to elementary school and then high school and then college and writing. I could write a book and autobiography, the library, this, that, and the other. Don't you talk to your kids or your grandkids and help them with their homework a little bit and learn English? My dad did that. He had to learn English when he started working, selling shit. And it was broken English, but by the time he was about 50, I was still about 15 or something. He had perfected his English. He learned it, got better at it, and keep getting better. And he had a friend from he was from Harvard. He had graduated from Harvard, and he told him, that guy had money and all that. And he told him, he says, I graduated from Harvard, but you're a smart man. He was a Shriner and all that. And self-educated or something, dropped out of school in the 8th grade. I'm just saying, I'm just putting this stuff out. I don't know if anybody even listens to this, but I'm going to cut this a little bit short. I talk too much. So anyhow, if you give me a like or whatever and comments or whatever, don't give me no hate crap. Too old for that. And anyhow, everybody have a good 4th of July. And like that Trump military thing, it's like a house cleaning, I grew up here in El Paso, Texas, Fort Bliss. It used to be a small army base. We used to go under my two brothers in the Navy, and my brother-in-law was living over there. He was in the Air Force. We went on base and new people. AA was sending their guys over on Tuesdays to the AA meeting. It's like home. I didn't go, but I know people, and it's I've got buddies that were in the Navy, my neighbors, Marine Corps, and all that. It's like family. We're Americans. Period. That's it. We don't have to like each other or be exactly the same, but this extreme wokeism and all that, and gay pride, all this, they had to star on the mountain. They turn it because they get a whole month. And then the veterans, nothing. The homeless, not all the homeless in L.A. and up build some encampments or something. This pathetic. That's politics. And then it wasn't. I think it was simpler and more straightforward back in the 50s and 60s. Because now everything political, and then the lawyers started in around 75. They started controlling and making laws, and I'll sue you and all that. We used to get out of the old school. You got a problem, boom, take it out. Like Joe Biden said, I'll take Trump around back and say, that's the way you take care of it. You're probably friends after that. You fight for 5 minutes and then you're drinking a beer that night, or you become friends. That's a guy thing, whatever. It used to be. And now with all this hatred, protests, and I'm looking at these guys. They got a New York cop down for the immigrants or some illegal immigrants. They fight like it's not a fight. It was boxing bare-fisted since the 1900s in New York, and before that, the 1880s or whatever. You fight like a man. Or they used to have a duel. You got a problem. You got your gun, and we walk 20 paces this way and turn around and shoot at each other, and whoever, that was it. The problem solved, but this stuff, what they do now is spitting at a cop and throwing rocks over the overpass. And then I see some of these cops are out of shape. They ain't making jack shit, but it's about respect one way or the other. Why do you have, well, I'm looking at the cartel today. It's where the Sinaloa and the New Jalisco are getting together because to fight to keep the drug trafficking going. Why? Oh, you had $2 to $10 million, $50 million worth of drug, and you got a machine gun, you probably raping a couple of girls and scaring them to death. If that your ambition, is that your inspiration in life, then we ought to shoot to kill, they used to say, and fight fire with fire. So I got no mercy no more for these people. God bless them, but they praise the Lord, but pass the ammunition, because it's time. And I'm amazed at what Trump is doing. I think he's seen it, him and a lot of people. I think they have to get together. Well, we can't do this because we got to use rubber bullets and tear gas, and then we're going to get lawsuits, and it's like I say, I'm old. I'm on the way out, so I'm kind of glad. I don't know if my son was alive, I'd probably be out there knocking a couple of these protesters down or something. Just my son was good, but he was disabled, so I'd have taught him to kick ass. When I left trucking 9 months ago, like the hillbillies and the rednecks and the Bible Belt, these salt of the earth type people, black, white, green, polka dotted, Asian, whatever, just straight up guy. You're working for a living, you got a family, and a little bit of respect. How you doing? Good morning. That's all. You ain't got to kiss this guy's butt and hang out with him and his family on the 4th, but just how you doing? Happy 4th. That's all. But these noble ones, they can't do that. And I look at them too. I'm not that beautiful I used to be when I was young. I look at some of these girls, the newscasters and all, and they're just showing you the Congress people. They're ugly outside, and then they start yelling and screaming. They're ugly inside and out. And that's satanic. I was thinking with the Muslims, a guy from Iran, death to America and all that, and put two and two together. You need to get rid of these people. They're no friggin' good. They used to, back in the 1860s or something, if they were Arab, they're aggressive and all. We don't want to let them in. They didn't let them in the country till started back in the 50s. We're discriminating. Well, you have to. You let a dog in the house, your cat. You don't bring a rattlesnake in the friggin' house, or a wolf or a coyote. You got to draw the line somewhere. Well, the Statue of Liberty, so give it back. Who cares? It was a gift from the French. Give it back to them. The French had ethnic cleansing back in the 80s. Ethnic cleansing. Have some ethics, or they seen a problem with these Muslims and all, started overrunning. It's not one or two, because the Mexicans been coming over the border, working in the restaurants for years. One or two, some of them that die in the desert for looking for a better life, blah, blah, blah. But there again, too, if you work in your own village in Mexico, or go to Tijuana or Mexico City or Acapulco or Cabos or something like, and start working in a restaurant or a hotel or a motel, cleaning, or you can make enough to make a living, because so many of them Mexican peoples that are in Mexico that are working and have a family, they stay there. My dad said we come up from Guanajuato back in the late 20s, I think. He said, when I come to this country, I took a step down. They're sophisticated. It's like Europe. Europe is quite civilized and been around for a long time. So a lot of the excuses, I'm looking for asylum. Well, for God's sakes, why don't you, Peru is nice. If you're in Venezuela, it's only like couple hundred. Why don't you go over there and start washing dishes, or cleaning motel rooms or something. Be a bartender. I don't know. Why do we have to come to L.A., California, with a perfect weather, nice neighborhood, and demand a house and get a car and a driver's license? And the Democrats, they give them this. Yeah, you're going to upset everybody else because they're jumping a line. The American dream. Well, on your flight back to Venezuela, just remember something. I was being sarcastic at the truck stop. I said, "You want to see the American dream? 76. I don't have $18 for a shower. I got my own truck, got my own business, and DOT. I was stuck over there with I was missing one lug nut on the front wheel. I was there for 4 days, 3 days to get a $1.50 lug nut from Freightliner 2 miles over because the guy messed up the order. The young 30-year-old cell phone guy with his shorts on and his black socks. That's right. Well, this is based on Hitler back in started with them gigantic computers. That's all it is. You don't hear about that. They bought one. They were $14 at Family Dollar, and you call your girlfriend. Once you talk to the girl, hey, babe, hey, sweetheart, let me buy you a can of beer. Boom, hey, you know. Anyhow, I want to get off here. I'm going to cut this short. Everybody have a good weekend. God bless us all, and see what happens.